If you are a Town Hall 11 player and you want to improve your game, try and get more 3 stars for your clan, then this video is for you. We are going to be recapping the top 3 Town Hall 11 ground-based armies. Now, any tips that we give will be relevant for any Town Hall level, but the replays will be specific for Town Hall 11. I will teach you exactly how to use each strategy, moving from number 3 up to the best ground-based attack for Town Hall 11. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, starting out with the 3rd best attack, we are going to go with the miners. Now I think the miners are an incredibly versatile troop. From Town Hall 10, Town Hall 11 into Town Hall 12, they can be used, and this is how you want to use them. You've got to set up a funnel for them moving through the base. So we have our king and queen over to the left hand side. They are going to take out this entire area, creating pathing for the miners. Notice we have the stone slammer as well, because there's this little island at the top of the base here which we have to take out. Following that, we have this clear path for the miners to come straight through the base onto them defenses, and it means you are condensing their fire through the base. We're actually reducing the width of the base so that the miners aren't spreading out as much. So the initial phases are using our heroes as a hero dive method over to the left, followed by the balloons in the stone slammer, and here come the miners. Look, notice how these wall compartments help to keep the miners straight through the base. Now the Eagle Artillery at Town Hall 11 is your main factor, especially for ground based armies. You're going to want to take that down, so the miners will get onto that relatively quickly, because again, you want to target the most dangerous things first if you can. A Lava Hound in the CC means that it is not going to do any damage to your miners. You just have to take out that balloon with a poison spell, and we did use the Grand Warden's ability to help us through that. The key for miners and why you might use them over a different type of troop is the queen here was in the center of the base. If you cannot easily access the queen, miners are not a defense targeting troop. So where they have the advantage over, let's say, Hog Riders, is that they can take out the queen. Now if you want to know which troop to use in a given situation, miners, Hog Riders, Lava Loon, I actually did a guide on that very recently. I will be sure to link that video at the end of this one so you guys can check it out. But with the miners coming through the base, we condensed their fire here first. They do start to fan out a little bit towards the end, but that's okay. It all depends on the base layout. We had taken out the major threats, and the heal spells were used wisely in areas of high DPS, high damage, where there was a lot of defenses or splash damages which could do a lot of damage onto your miners. So that is the 3rd best ground attack. Let's move across to the next one. The 2nd best attack strategy for ground troops at Town Hall 11 is the P.E.K.K.A. Bobat. Now I know it does use the bat spells, but that's really just an extension of the P.E.K.K.A. Smash, which equally works extremely well. It does have healers as well, and in this replay Electro Dragons, but the E-Drags are used to set up your funnel. You want to set that up on either side of the base, no matter what kill squad you're using, so that we can drive them into the base. If you are new to the channel here guys, be sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my Clash of Clans videos. Now you need to take out a section of the base, and you're trying to take out the Eagle Artillery and the multi-infernos if possible, but really you're trying to take out a big section of the base and any splash damages. So the Wall Wrecker does majority of the work, although we do have a jump spell here in order to help us through the base. Always good to take a jump spell because it's all about pathing with your P.E.K.K.A.s. You have to use your king to funnel so that the healers will go onto the P.E.K.K.A.s here and not the king, because they are the ones that you want to funnel. So at this point we've drove them straight through the center of the base. We've taken down the queen, we've taken down the clan castle troops, but more importantly we've taken down the eagle and 2 multi-infernos. We've also created this little area here, look, where we could sweep the bats in. You don't want to put the bats in too early. You want to create a little kind of path of defenses here whereby the bats can sweep straight up and around. You want to try and put them in early enough that you do protect your P.E.K.K.A.s to a degree, but they have the healers and they should be fine. It's the splash damage you need to take out in order to try and protect the bats. So you do have to work kind of both of them together. We had the ice golem there initially, but freeze spells are going to be the main thing that you're using in order to freeze splash damage. The bats aren't going to have any issue here with point defense. No matter how many X-bows or archer towers you throw at them, they should get through them relatively okay. It is the splash damage that you're focusing on, and you just seen a perfect example of how they went down incredibly easy to just a single shot of the wizard tower. So take note of that, guys. Be sure to try and freeze them. You can always use, if you can, a troop. Ice golem tends to work the best to distract the wizard tower on the outside in order to freeze it once the ice golem is popped. However, we took out the majority of the splash damages so that the bats could come through and take out a lot of the point defense, meaning that the P.E.K.K.A. could finish up on the outside of the base. This gives you a very good chance of the 2 stars. You're never not really going to get that. You should get the high percentage 3, but it also gives you a brilliant chance at getting the 3-star. I meant to say high percentage 2 and then the chance of getting the 3, but the P.E.K.K.A. Bobat is an incredibly safe strategy. It's an incredibly user-friendly strategy, so that's why I've got it as the number 2, but there is a better one, especially if you are trying to up your skill level. So let's go ahead and let's dive into that now, as the second best attack has wrapped up. And the best ground-based army for Town Hall 11, you guessed it right, it is the Hog Riders. They are incredible. If you disagree with me, which some people do, this is my opinion, let me know in the comments why and your list with tips for players. I'm actually going to show you 2 different variations of the Hog Riders, this one being a straightforward kill squad. Now guys, all of these attacks are by Toxic Rabbits. If you're interested in joining us, maxed out Town Hall 10 players and above, you can join my Discord server, and all of the clans I am involved with are linked there, and you can join their server in order to go through the recruitment process. So this is exactly the same as the next variation I'm going to show you in terms of setting up the kill squad. It's just that the kill squad is different. You've got to create a funnel on either side to control your troops. This is basic stuff, but make sure you do it. As the wall wrecker then opens up, our main kill squad can come into that area. This is probably your more standard way of doing the Hog Riders, but be sure to check out the next one as well, because it is probably stronger. If you don't have a wall wrecker, it's not that this strategy doesn't work, it is just more difficult to do. If you've got a Town Hall 12 that can give you a wall wrecker, it's obviously going to help, but you just have to use wall breakers, let's say for this compartment, and a jump spell here. But you might not even need the jump spell. The wall wrecker didn't get through there. It just provided us with a bit more tankage. So really in this replay, it didn't do a great deal. But we managed to get into the base. And notice what we took out. Similar to the other attacks that you've seen before this, the enemy queen has gone down, the clan castle has gone down, but we've also carved out a big area of the base here, meaning that we can then sweep the Hog Riders through the rest of the base to take it out. So the Hog Riders now come in to converge to a multi. You've got to try and get a multi down early, especially if you've got 2 of them. You've got to be concentrating on getting at least one of them down soon. A couple of surgical Hog Riders do come in here to try and help snipe these defenses, control the main pack of hogs through this area so that they're not kind of, you know, splitting up onto all of these different defenses and just being very inefficient. You want to try and condense them, otherwise your heal spells aren't going to be working properly. They're not necessarily getting as high a value in terms of taking the defenses down quickly. So do think about condensing your Hog Riders into a single group if you can, and surgically reinforce that to keep them on track. The wizards are on the outside of the base alongside the king, helping to clean up, and notice how the heal spells were overlapping the entire group. There wasn't a defense which was not in range of that heal spell, so the more you can do that, the more effective your Hog Riders are going to be. Again, if you want to see the video where I talk the difference between miners or Hog Riders, I have a whole separate video for that, which you can check out at the end of this one, but I do want to show you an even better kill squad at getting in to set up the Hog Riders so that you can get the 3 stars for your clan. So in my opinion, the best way of setting up Hog Riders, or many other variations of strategies for that matter, is using the Queen Charge. It is a little bit more tricky to do, but it's definitely got a better reward in my opinion. It's that whole high skill cap, high reward aspect of things. Again though, creating the funnel on either side is very key in order to send your queen in. It's even more pivotal in this because the queen is a ranged troop and therefore can easily walk around to shoot defenses if you don't have access. That is where the jump spell there comes in handy to send the queen into the base. Again, note at what we are getting, a multi-inferno. That's key for Hog Riders. If you can take one of them down, you are onto a winner. But clan castle troops are going down, the queen and the eagle. Again, the eagle is important at Town Hall 11, but if you were doing this at a different Town Hall level, the queen and inferno still very relevant. For Hog Riders, you've also got to think about the enemy king, because the king can attack Hog Riders. Unlike miners where they fight back, the king can just continue to attack them. Unlike Lava Loon where they fly over the top, you got to consider that, although he's not as pivotal as the queen. So we did take out the king initially as well. The Archer Queen of our own here at Toxic Rabbits is going to continue coming forward, and the Slammer comes up to this top area. Just let the Slammer do its work initially. Once the Hog Riders come out, we can then reinforce with more Hogs to swoop through the base. And again, look at pathing here for Hog Riders. We've taken out this entire right hand side, so they're going to come straight down here. The only problem is that they might split. So again, if I draw this line, the Hog Riders come down. There's a good chance that once we get through these initial defenses, they start to come left, some will continue to come down, some will potentially come right, so you've got to have a plan for that. So whilst most of them come through the middle, we've got to then reinforce this cannon, and there is a Tesla farm there. If you've got replays that you can check out in order to know what's in the clan castle, where the traps are, clearly that's going to be helpful, although a Tesla farm could be very easily predicted in that area. That again means that this area gets wiped out and we merge the Hog Riders together, so we're not having them all splitting up and becoming inefficient. They're staying together. I love the Grand Warden's ability there as well. The Hog Riders were starting to split, so decided to use it earlier in order to get all of them within that enranged bonus. That meant that even as they split, they are able to take down the defense as well and easily get through the rest of it. So a perfect example there of the Queen Charge into Hog Riders, especially showing just how powerful it can be. So that is your top 3 ground-based attack strategies at Town Hall 11. If you want to see the difference and a guide teaching you when to use miners, Hog Riders or Lava Loon, be sure to check this one out, guys. Irrespective of your Town Hall level, that will be helpful. That video will help you out. Until next time, peace out.